Hi, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to Within the Cauldron. Hello, sis.
Hello. It's been a busy day for me this whole weekend. I feel like, am I here or what?
I know I kind of feel the same way. It's been kind of a chaotic day as well for me. I'm like, huh? Wait, what?
Before we get started, though, I want to introduce Gray Witch, who is a friend from TikTok. He's going to join us for a half hour with some questions he has of his own, too, everything. I'll take it over to you, sis.
Perfect. Well, today we have Tobias Dean Josephson in the house today. And just to give a little background on Tobias's metaphysical background is rooted in disciplined spiritual practice, ritual structure, symbolic study, and the years of exploring the relationship between personal responsibility and spiritual development through the work within the Brotherhood. Oops, sorry about that. His work within the Brotherhood emphasizes grounded practice over fantasy, focusing on self-control, awareness, energy work, meditation, ritual observance, and the historical and philosophical foundations of witchcraft traditions. Rather than approaching the metaphysical through fear or ego, he teaches from the perspective that real practice begins with discipline, emotional stability, and the ability to remain centered under pressure. His goal has always been to create a space where men interested in metaphysical study can explore spirituality, symbolism, ritual, and personal growth within a structured, ethical, and supportive brotherhood environment. Thank you, Tobias, for coming today.
You're welcome. Hi, ladies. How are you? Mr. Gray Witch, it is such a pleasure to finally meet you in person, my friends.
Thank you.
Man, Tobias, you are just one busy person, aren't you?
I know. Definitely.
I seem to be.
I'm really interested in what you do for the Brotherhood of the Male Witches because, it's like you said before, we was on a podcast with Sid Ryder about how it's always like a female aspect, the females always get recognized more than what the male does. So once you kind of give us kind of like just a summary of what the Brotherhood is.
Well, all right, let's see if I can nail this down.
Okay.
The Brotherhood was meant to be a space that would be a safe space for any male. And the backstory is Trevor Pearson was an admin in another group when I first came out of the closet. And so what I did is I put myself into service back then. And he commented on, I believe it was a religious post on another male's group run by a male. And without even giving the guy a reason why, he was thrown out. And so that rubbed me wrong. And I was a moderator at the time. And so knowing Trevor the way I did, I understood that he hadn't done anything wrong. And it was the first time I realized that people online were using something as a label, as a form of power. And so what I did is I went to Trevor and I was like, we could come up with a group that treats people way better. And all he said to me is he turned around and he says, I'm not going to do it. You do it. And so we started the Brotherhood to be a safe space for any male. It didn't matter which path you came from, as long as you had a serious desire to learn and you had a serious desire to stay respectful to everybody within the room. Now, it hasn't exactly turned out like that, and it's most definitely a labor of love. We've got about 13,000 members, but at our peak, we had over 25, 26. But we learned the great old adage, the more you have, the more problems you have. So we keep it around 12 to 13,000. It seems to be manageable.
Wow.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Nice.
And
Send me a link. Send me a link.
The links down below. It's on Facebook though. Do you have something on YouTube too as well, Tobias?
I do have a you.
You do? Tobias, do you?
Well? I do, and that is the business part. And so this is where people seem to get confused. Because paranormal witchcraft is for my love of paranormal investigation and research. And so I formed a team of people like us that want to get together and do investigations. Now, it's very stigma but we're getting somewhere because I think people are starting to see
Mm,
that friends like you guys that do all
Mhm.
as well. And so I'm trying to help remove the stigma around what we do, but
good.
keeping
I
it
like that.
separate from the brotherhood.
I like that.
Yeah.
That you do. Grey Witch, since you only have like 15 minutes before you go to
Time
Tiffany,
flies, dude.
what do you have? Do you like to ask Tobias about the Brotherhood?
Um, I have a lot of male witches in my under my wing, and most of them don't have a place to go. They really don't. I'm trying my best to hook them up with other elders that are male witches and practitioners of that sort, but they're so limited.
Yeah.
So I can only do so much for them, and sincerely, I'm only one. So
Gotcha.
this little thing right here, like I said, everything happens for a reason. I'm supposed to be on another podcast right now as we speak, but I'm here with y'all because that's just the way things work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So send me your link to this, and I will gladly send you if you guys your direction that would need and probably help help with your guidance.
Yeah, I can do that for you. I think I just did. Check your TikTok, kind of scroll up. It might be on there too as well. Because now, Tobias, do you do anything on TikTok as well?
Now, I keep getting nudged there. I have a lot of friends that are like, "You don't do TikTok," and I'm like, "Oh man, I'm so busy." But me and the wife are talking about it for the business, just to give it a little bit of a boost. And then every now and then, I'll do posts for the Brotherhood. But I don't know if I'm intimidated by the difference from Facebook to TikTok or what it is. I just haven't ventured there yet, but I am considering it because I go there and I grow organically, and I go and I help Realm of the Occult. I'll cross post them, etc., trying to get them people in that chat there through TikTok. And what I notice is I gain anywhere from 25 to 50 people a week with just being there. So I know it's the place to be. Perhaps I need to gather the courage to venture into it in the future.
Be surprised how far it'll get you nowadays.
That's what I hear.
I have to do the same. I'm with you, Tobias. I'm the same way. I feel like I'm a little intimidated by it too. And first of all, I can't get into my account to begin with. So I've got to figure that out. I've got to delete it and like reinstall it and then try again.
I have two TikTok accounts, the
Right.
Grey Witch, and the other one is called We Are Witch, which is almost at 7,000 followers.
Oh, wow.
Incredible.
Wow.
I'm busy. I'm a busy dude. I've been on 3 podcasts, a few radio stations. I'm just trying to spread the word out that male witches are just witches. And we are just as magical as everybody else out there.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had a discussion yesterday. A guy called himself a warlock. I'm like, do you even know what that word means? He said, yeah, you're a male witch. I said, no. I gave him the explanation. He looked at me like I was dumb. I'm like, maybe you should do a little bit of research, like I always tell people to do. Do research. Do some searching for yourself. Get an energy and feel of what you're starting to search before you ask somebody and you try to look smart and it doesn't work out so well.
Keyboard warriors, as Medium Red calls them. I love it.
Yeah.
Male witches have a very, very important role within ritual and within society, and I'm not knocking the female energy of priestesshood or being a neophyte within a coven, but the masculinity brings balance to the circle.
We need a feminine, divine, and a masculine. Yes, it does bring a good balance.
You need the yin and the yang.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
That is correct. Very much so.
That's some number.
So how have you done this Brotherhood, Tobias?
Brotherhood will be 6 coming up. And then I have like a year and a half on my own before I form that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So Brotherhood it'll be 6 years old this year. And we had our heyday, everybody made the group what it is. And then the epidemic hit and wiped everybody out on the planet. And nothing's really been the same. but the core values are still there. So as of late, that's what we're trying to build, like Pride Month and stuff like that.
Nice.
That's something I'm-
You're muted, Chrissy.
Uh-oh.
There you go.
There
I'm
we
always
go.
muted. It's so loud here with the kids downstairs. So, now, Tobias, you and Gerwitch should get together and do like a Brotherhood of the Male Witches TikTok.
Down with it. As long as we help a few make them understand some things
Yeah.
about themselves.
Come together, support, or so. I know you don't do TikTok, but maybe Grey Witch can help you.
Here's a good example. Edward Stott was never one to be on TikTok. Just a few, let's say 4 days ago, I got him into TikTok. We did like 2 or 3 lives together now.
Nice.
And now he's close to 300 followers, and I'm telling him this is gonna take you places because you'll be heard here.
Right.
You already, like on Facebook, you may have your set people. When you reach other platforms, there's a plethora of new folks there to reach out to,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and you just don't stop. You got to keep on going.
Yeah.
For real.
All right. The Grey Witch has convinced me. I think I need to delete my app and reinstall it and try to start all over again. So thank
And
you.
there's always something for somebody on TikTok that I've so far been learning about.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And my name is Ishmael,
Nice.
so y'all
I love it.
can call me Ish.
Ish. You can call me Red.
No, I do have a lot of friends and colleagues on TikTok that are like, you don't know what you're missing. I'm like, well, I have my hands full right now, but I will
Yeah.
consider it. So I'm
Mhm.
glad you guys brought it up because it's not the first time people have been like, you really don't, it's easy money over there. I'm like, well, I've got all this here.
On TikTok, I mentor like 15 to 20 of them, and I don't make a cent because I don't want their money.
Right.
I told this one guy yesterday, I don't care how much money you got. Don't care how much money you don't got. Not here for that. You need help? This is what male witches, elders are supposed to be doing for y'all. It's guiding y'all, making sure y'all doing shit right. Oops. Doing
Right.
things right. Sorry.
That's fine. That's fine.
I've never
Wait.
heard that word before, Ish.
Nobody just
Being careful
You're
at least.
fine.
You never know.
You're fine.
That is fine. We now because when I first met you, Tobias, I was like intrigued that you have the brotherhood. I was like, that is so awesome, so cool. And I know how you feel when you say that you was like, yeah, we should do that, and everybody kind of points at you and says, yeah, you do it. I know that feeling, and it's like, oh, no pressure, but yeah, now I got pressure here. It's
You know what's really funny
hard.
though? People point at her to do it, then I end up doing it. If
we
there's
always pay the price for that one. And we ain't do nothing but be there, man. Damn.
You guys are the
muscle.
dynamic duo. Chris and Chrissy, the dynamic duo. That's what I think of you guys.
That's awesome.
He's my muscle though, so yeah.
That's
No.
awesome.
Say hi to Crystal.
Oh. Hi, Chris Stant.
Yeah, just want to give you a call out.
Yeah.
I see.
So
Easy, Chris. Easy. Easy, my friend.
And me, I just got finished making an appointment for prosthetics. I'm gonna get specialized shoes.
Oh, okay.
I just recently lost 3.5 toes. I'm diabetic, had nothing to do with diabetes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And long story short, 6 months later, I got my toes in my earrings. That's where they belong. In Puerto Rico, we practice different types of things. Everybody's path, just like everybody else's path throughout the world of magic, is very different and very unique.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And it's just about acceptance.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It is.
It is.
Mhm.
Yes.
Nice.
I always ask a question today because with all this DOD stuff, going on with the code and everything, I've been so busy this weekend just talking to people. And somebody said today that have you ever asked the question on your podcast about natural witches? Because some people would say, I'm a born witch. But then again, they don't have that knowledge of
training.
Though, yeah, the knowledge or training that those of us who's been doing for 40, 50 years. So
Education, yeah.
what do you think about that, Tobias and Grey Witch? If you both want to answer that, that'd be great. What is your feelings on that? When somebody
I
says
will.
witch.
I'll pass it to him since he has the least amount of time today. So I'll let him lead, and
Run
then
it.
I'll
You got
follow.
run it to me one more time because I'm not hearing that well because my volume is not really all that.
Okay, because some people says I'm a born witch. I was born into witchcraft and everything, but yet they don't have the knowledge of somebody that's like 40 plus into the craft. They
Okay.
don't have the knowledge of rituals or anything like that,
All right.
or different things that you do, you know, spells, etc. So if somebody says I'm a natural witch, are you going to say, "Oh, crew, that's great," or are you going to try to test them and say, "Well, what's your training?" You know, because for you to be a born witch, you have to
If,
have some kind of a training,
if
don't
you're born a witch, you already should have some natural traits to you that should be receiving by the age of 6 or 7.
you? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When you're a generational witch like myself,
Mm-hmm.
I was already doing my own versions of witches knots at the age of 5 and throwing them under people's houses to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things that are passed on. The new, like you said, the upcoming, the magical, the natural witch, it's a natural thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nature calls you more than probably usually most people out there.
Yeah.
Like people like myself, I was generationally born into it. I could hug a tree and understand every letter it wants to tell me.
Mm-hmm.
I could put scissors underneath somebody's bed and stop them from having night terrors and nightmares. Passed on knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
How to if you mix cinnamon powder, honey, elderberry, and turmeric, you got a penicillin better, an antibiotic better than penicillin and anything the doctor can give you. Yes, the
Mhm.
witches know this.
Yeah.
This is what
Right.
we do. Natural born witches, generational witches already should have some things already here
Yeah.
Mhm.
that they can't explain yet until magic actually kicks you in your neck. And you'd be like, oh shit.
Like that answer.
How about you, Tobias?
I agree with what he said. Is you can tell the ones that like I have people that they come from families of witchcraft, etc., per se. Those are the ones that I believe he's referring to as well, the natural born ones. They're born into it, but it's also in their DNA. So from a young age, they pick up and they show signs of certain skills. What we see a lot of in the Brotherhood, we don't see that as much. Those people are rare, and so I love finding those people. But then again, you have to understand that not every natural born is as brave as our friend here, and most hide in the crevices. But what we find in the Brotherhood is we have a lot of people who I think, like he's referring to, that may think they're generational or natural, but they may not be. Does that help?
Mhm. Yeah.
And just before I let y'all go, just remember how special and magical all of y'all are. For not just us, everybody. Everybody's born with a specific type of magic that people will either understand or will never understand, but you do.
Mhm.
Use that as your daily driver, and don't matter what people say, you still be your magical self. Don't stop, because there's going to be a lot of folks out there who's not going to like what you say, what you practice, how you dress. Like I said, don't stop being. You're not here for them. You're here to make your life happy. You're only here one time.
Yeah.
If you don't take advantage of this boat right now, you won't get another chance to swim. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
That's true.
Very true. Very true.
True.
But I am gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna start prepping for this little thing I'm gonna do with this other people. It was a great honor meeting y'all here and being here with y'all. It's very fun. I want to do this again with y'all. Tobias, get in contact with me. I got a few good friends you can meet.
Sure.
I'll get you up in the chat.
You have a nice
Chrissy,
talk.
Red, thank you.
Thank you.
And y'all,
love to
and y'all have a
meet you.
blessed night.
Okay.
You too. Good night.
See.
Be
Bye.
blessed.
Now with the paranormal, you got okay, help me out here. It's the Paranormal Witchcraft LLC.
Mm-hmm.
The LLC, yeah, that's supposed to be our business. We just passed our first year. And so what it was about a year ago, me and Fonda had been talking about our love about the paranormal. We have some friends on here as well who love the paranormal, and they have their own groups. Sandy Bowersox, her and her friend, are teammates of Paranormal Witchcraft, and then we had a bunch of friends from my days at Academy of Sorcery, and that went down. Its owner did too much FAFO, and so I created Paranormal Witchcraft as a way to have old students from Academy of Sorcery, and then friends that ran witches group that were all into the paranormal. And so we thought it'd be cool to start a group. And then for some reason, we thought it'd be a great idea to purchase an LLC. And we just said, F it, let's see what we can make. Now, that being said, it's been a long year, but I've learned a lot.
I bet. Yes.
Wow. So what's one thing would you say that you have learned?
And metaphysical or paranormal?
In paranormal.
Paranormal.
Right now, there is a need to be like the people on TV. I'm not sure what that stigma is.
Mm-hmm.
But when we started the business a year ago, I went up to bat for the business because obviously the name Paranormal Witchcraft was going to turn heads, and it has no doubt turned heads, but mostly in the wrong way, because you guys probably understand this as well, as each being content creators, you get people that look at you sideways sometimes, and that's been the biggest stigma that we still face. But we're confident that in time, like this helps, being a guest on your podcast or helping our other friends out with their podcast, that helps, because I see more people starting to pay attention to your message, Sid message, my message, Grey Witch, others. There also seems to be right now, with what's going on in the world, people are looking for a light anywhere they can find it.
Right.
And so I think, like you ladies have said, and thunder in the background there, the time is right now that we start promoting each other and showing a little more love.
Yeah.
Well, there's definitely needs to be para-unity in the paranormal community. It's really interesting because we've had that discussion before, Tobias, about how, like, I'm a medium and I'm also a witch, but in the witch world, I'm accepted for both. There's no stigma behind me being a paranormal investigator or a medium, but in the paranormal world, there is definitively a black, a very, like, a line drawn in the sand. And I would say that there's right. Exactly. Yeah. Chris is right. It's a scared part. It's a non-belief part, but yeah, there is. So I keep, I kind of don't even bring that up a lot in the paranormal world because of the fact of the stigma attached to it. So I totally understand there. So not only do we need para-unity within the paranormal field, because there's just drama, competition, jealousy, all that stuff, which is, in my opinion, ridiculous, because we all want the same things. We all want to know what happens behind the veil. We all want to know what, evidence we can get to support that, So I just find it so mind-boggling on that. And the other part of it, para-unity within, like, just what Grey Witch was saying, love everybody. Everybody is supposed to be different. So the differences are what makes you different is what you should love about them, as opposed to setting them apart and saying no, So it's a tightrope.
Yeah, it is. It's just like somebody will walk up to me and say, "Let me see magic. Let me feel it."
Right.
And I'm looking at them going, "You do. You see it. You're living it. You taste it. You breathe it. You smell it." And they're looking at me like I'm crazy. Then they'll say, "Prove that you're a witch." Then I'll look at them, knowing full well, they probably have Christian background.
Right.
So then I'll look at them and say, "Prove that your God is real."
Yeah. Great. I love that.
And they look at me, "Well, it's in the Bible." No, there's plenty of witchcraft books that talks about the great goddess, but there's also millions of books speaking of God.
Well, and in that book, the Bible was written by men, multiple men.
Yeah.
It wasn't written by God.
But so is our books, people write them, But the definitive line is believing.
Correct.
embracing that divinity. It doesn't matter the God's name. Well, it sort of does, but it's believing and letting yourself be that person who reaches out and making that connection. And a lot of people, especially witches, they don't understand that.
Right.
That you do have to surrender yourself spiritually to really embrace the divine, your gods.
Yeah.
Surrender your ego too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that, Tobias?
I do exactly. And Miss Monica and Matt are actually some of our business partners from Blue Mountain Paranormal. So we were talking about Pennsylvania earlier. We drive out there we will be driving out there before the end of the summer to hunt with them again. So we're excited for that.
Nice.
Yeah, I think they're coming on the podcast.
So, and I'm excited.
Yeah.
I have so many people. I'll have to look at the calendar. If not, well, you know what? We will have them come on the podcast.
Right, I was going to say, here, I got the calendar up. I'm looking to
One
see.
way or another. Because, somebody was telling me today, they say, I still watch a podcast, but you're kind of getting away from the witchiness. You're getting the paranormal. And I'm like, well, we are actually balancing, because it goes hand in hand, And a lot of paranormal teams are witches in a way, or pagans, or some sort. So it goes in hand in hand. It's just balance.
July 22nd. That's when we have Blue Mountain Paranormal coming on.
Okay, July 22nd.
July 22nd.
So, yes.
He's a great guy. He has a lot of knowledge. You guys are going to love him. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, he seems like he was a nice guy when I talked to him through a messenger. Matt did. So, yeah. So, we always excited to do the paranormal team. So we can't get enough of them. Can't get enough of the witches. We just.
I love witches.
Yeah.
To me, they're the kind of people. Sometimes they're a little hard to get along with, but you know what? They don't kick me out of church. I'm serious.
I don't think witches are difficult to get along with. I actually find myself getting along more with the witches than I do within the paranormal society.
Yeah. Somebody asked me the other day too about how can I get along with everybody, and I'm like, you just have to have the personality. That's it. You can't take things too hard. Yeah, and you have to think. Not just in your shoes, we got to think of everybody else's shoes too, and everything. And just understanding, take control of yourself and don't nobody else take control of you, because everybody always says, oh, you're doing that wrong. You're doing this wrong, in your craft. And it's like, okay, that is your craft. This is mine. Leave me alone. I do it the way I want to do it. If you have another way to do it, I'd be happy to watch you, observe. Maybe I might pick up something and incorporate in my stuff, but we should not tell each other how
wrong we are.
Worship.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm sure you probably come across that too, Tobias, where somebody might say, no, you don't do it that way.
Have I'm reading a book. It's I think it's a pep, and it's a type of vampire magic. I'm reading it, and there's certain people in the Brotherhood who don't like its author, the way he words things, and so I'll get the splainers, the Luciferians that'll comment, and what I do as one of the leaders there, if I disagree with something you have to believe is true as a splainer, I'll thumbs up you and move on. Because it's just not worth. You have a section of practicers that have to go by the book. Now that's on them, but for some reason it ruins their day if you don't. I've just learned to just let it roll off my shoulder. It is sad, and I think it's tied to their ego for some reason, and that's about as far as I got.
Yeah.
Well, and it is about ego, unfortunately. I'm better than you.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
That's
We're all
usually the
equal.
case.
I've noticed that
Yeah.
within like the witch community that ego is our greatest downfall as
Yeah.
a species
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
it ain't always, me and Chris used to get accused of being holier than thou, and it's not about being holier than thou, but it's about boundaries,
Yeah.
of people understanding that, we have a cookie cutter here. We don't need to change it. If we start changing the cookie cutter, things
You're changing the cookie.
Yeah.
it becomes unbalanced. It
Yeah.
just things don't roll right.
Mm-hmm.
Change the foundation, everything crumbles then.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
from an Iridian tradition. I believe in that balance.
Yeah.
And when you find that right, how can I say, the ingredients to the cookie, you stick to it.
Yeah.
Right.
And you can
What works for you?
yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
But at the same time, like with Pagan Pride, we have the cookie cutter, what I call the cookie cutter. It brings balance to the whole event.
Yeah.
And it's trying to keep people within that cookie cutter without offending them. And it's
Right.
hard. It's really, really
Yeah.
hard.
It's a
because
tight walk.
everything that me and Gypsy has done within the community has been out of love for the goddess, not necessarily the people,
Right.
but it's doing her bidding, her wishes,
Hmm.
not mine or somebody else's. It's
Yeah.
honoring our goddess worldwide. We call her by many different names,
Mm-hmm.
but it's by honoring her that we did these events. And
Mm-hmm.
some people just don't get it. She gave us the cookie cutter. Let us run with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's all have fun with it.
Yeah.
Let's all show love toward one another.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about.
Yeah. Well, I think that one thing I hate about the community is like for a long time it was always Chris and Chrissy show, or I should say I craft name Thunder and Gypsy show, And it's like, no, it's not our show. It's just that you don't do nothing. You sit on your lazy ass,
Hmm.
do this and want to do that, but yet you won't get up and say, hey, we're going to have an event. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. People says we need money. No, you don't need money to start up with. I have proved that over and over. Until you get into bigger events like Pagan Pride, then yeah, well, that's a little bit different. But you don't have to do a big event. Start small, work your way up.
Small circle events.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Those are just as impactful as the large ones,
Yeah, they are. Because then you get to spend more one-on-one time with people.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right.
I think the smaller ones are better experiences. That's just my opinion. Like,
Yeah.
we've been to Pennhurst for their convention, and it was like trying to walk around at a concert. I hated it. We went to Salem for Sam Hain, and I almost lost my mind. So now
In
we
Salem?
Oh, yeah.
You don't
Oh,
go
wow.
to Salem on San Hain.
Yeah.
No. I've been there a few times, and I've never go to Salem on Samhain. What I say,
It was
Samhain?
so bad. It was so bad. I was walking in traffic. I'm like, I don't care. They can hear me.
Wow.
Yeah, it can get up to 100 to 300,000 people in that small town.
Woo.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Don't go. And
Yeah.
over.
Food
Just
is
don't.
overpriced.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my God. I bought
So-
3 brats. Cost me $60 for the brats.
That's what I was just gonna say. When you go to Salem Public, you're just paying for the city of Salem now. It's really sad. I hate to say that.
Yeah.
Now, not to
Go
say it's not
off-season.
worth going, but
Right.
like they said, don't go for
Go
Halloween.
off season. We're going to be there in September again, and I cannot wait because it's like a second home to me and everything. But I would not go in the month of October. I refuse to.
Yeah.
So
And everybody warned me. To be fair, they were like, "You're fucking nuts." I'm like, "Well, I got to see for myself how bad could it be." And then we got there, and I first thing I said was, "Oh shit!" And You know,
Yeah.
we made it about 2 days, and then what we did for the rest of the trip is like we drove up to Maine and back, and we explored, and then we
Yeah.
came back through Salem on the way out, grabbed a couple things, and we were like, bye, hi, let's go home.
Yeah.
It gets crazy around Samhain. It does. It's just too many people. You have to wait in line for
Yeah.
just to get into the restaurants, the attractions,
All of it.
and everything. There's not enough bathrooms around. And yeah, it really sucks going in October. You can get the same effect of Salem any month. Actually,
Right.
you do.
Any other month but that.
Yeah. Well,
It's like the 4th of July for witches then.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
don't get us wrong. You know, we do love Salem. Salem has done wonders for our coven. You know, it has. But the big thing is people get lost up in the like Chrissy said, the attractions. But the main thing that I do like about Salem is that when they have their big Samhain ritual, it is far second to none.
Yeah.
You know, I
It is.
enjoyed that. To me, that was worth the trip. And it gives me
Yeah.
excuse to go see my first high priestess, you know,
Yeah.
and you know, go up to New Hampshire, up through Maine, up to New Hampshire and see her. And at that time it was Vermont, but she moved to New Hampshire, which I like just as well. You know, it's like second home to us.
Yeah. So with the paranormal witchcraft that you have now, okay, so can you tell us maybe one of the locations that you've been to that you really like a lot?
Actually, I can, because it's a script for YouTube that I haven't got to do yet. It was on Bobby Singer's junkyard. We went to Stoll Cemetery on our way back home last weekend. So ironic that you would ask. So I'm still a super diehard fan of Supernatural. And so we tracked down Lawrence, Kansas, and then we tracked down Stoll, Kansas, and we made sure we weren't breaking any laws, because just like everywhere else that's famous, the town folk had to track down. And so we ended up at Stoll Cemetery. The church that's in the scene at the end of season 5 is no longer on location, but we stopped by there at Stoll Cemetery. And that's supposedly the place where I think it was Dean and Michael had a skirmish, or if not, it was Sam and Michael. And the ground opens up, I believe, in the cemetery there, and they go into hell. And that's one of the locations. And then the sister town next to it is called Lawrence, and that's where Lady Bird Pie Shop is, where Dean would always go and eat pie. And so we tracked that down as well. Let's see, we've been to Penhurst, we've been to Bobby Mack's. It was closed down, but it was still standing before the new one was built. We've been to Indiana State Sanitarium. We've been to a lot of places in the Chicagoland area, and that's why we were happy to partner with Blue Mountain, because they are East Coast and we haven't been to East Coast yet. So we want to get our passports and just investigate everywhere. We don't want to be just like cemetery investigators, or just like we were talking, you have that circuit paranormal people, they go and do all the events, and we want to do it all.
Exactly.
Medium Red can tell you a bunch of stories that she has.
Yes. Yes, a lot.
Well, you've been to Bob Mackey's too, haven't you?
I have not. No, I was at in Virginia City, McKay's. I think it's called McKay's, and the Washoe Billionaire Club. Were when I was that one was really interesting because it was very time period, and it was really interesting because when I went in, they had a tour that my husband and I did, and it was probably only about 10 people, I want to say. And I usually don't tell everybody I'm a medium, because the next thing you know, it's like you've got like 15 people that are glued to you, wanting to know exactly what, you're picking up and what are you getting and stuff like that. So I try to keep it quiet. The tour guide knew that I was a medium, so every once in a while she would come over and we would chat, privately. But and then one woman did figure it out. But what I thought was really interesting was when we went into the room where the Fellowship of the Billionaires would meet. It was a huge room. We kind of spread out a little bit. I kind of walked over because I was feeling like this one big grand chair that was there. I called it the grand poopah chair. I walked over to it to examine it. And then all of a sudden, there he was standing right there, McKay or whatever his name was. And he was like standing right next to me going, "You are not allowed to be in here. You are a woman. And this is a man. This is a male. This is a men's club, basically." And he goes, "You need to leave." And I'm like, okay. So I didn't say anything to him. I just kind of walked back over and stood next to my husband. And he followed me over and said, "That is not what I told you to do. I told you to get the F out of here. You are not allowed to be in here." I mean, and it was wild. I mean, he was so upset that there were women in his room, and I told him, I'm like, sorry, I'm not being disrespectful, but you do need to realize that this is a different time frame and things have changed in the last 100 years. So, but it was really, really interesting, I have to say, when you get into those. And that's like, I've had that occur like 2 or 3 times now when it comes to male dominated clubs. Like Globe, Arizona has the Elks Lodge. I had the same thing when I went into this room where the Elks Lodge members would meet. I had like a grand poopah that came up to me again, and "You are not to be here. This is off limits to you. You need to leave the way you came in." He wasn't quite as disrespectful or, didn't use the F-bomb quite as much. But yeah, it's very interesting.
Oh, wow.
So yeah.
That's an awesome story, actually. I actually do have a favorite location. So with business partners, we went to a timepiece, and Medium Red brought it up when she said timepiece. There's a place in Pennsylvania called Walnut Hill Manor, and there's a young couple, I believe they're pagans, and they own it. And it looks like it belongs in a museum. I mean, they keep that place up to the T. It was so beautiful. We caught some laser grid activity, and I believe we had some friends with us that had some psychic abilities, and they caught some interactions. But I just remember that place was so beautiful. And the place behind that, a close second, Thomas House Hotel in Tennessee, is interesting. It's an overnight stay.
Nice.
I like that story, though.
Thank you.
A lot of people don't.
She has some great ones.
A lot of people don't think about that. They don't think about days gone by and how people were treated differently.
Right. Exactly. Right. Well, and the other thing too is, like, I don't know if you've run into this in some of your paranormal investigations, but we were doing a building that's never been investigated before. And we had literally a gentleman from the 1970s had passed in there. We had a woman who actually passed right outside the front door, and she was from the 30s. And then we had 1879, 2 guys that shot each other in the 1800s. And what was really interesting is to, even with the guy that was from the 1970s, one of our leaders had a very expensive and fancy portal, and they don't know how to use that. It just, the thing is that, and I mean, it's crazy to say that, because everybody's like, well, what do you mean they can't use it? It's like, I was told by all of them that they were, well, the men from 1800s, they were scared of it. It had blue neon lights to it. And so they were really standoffish to it. But all of them were not, they didn't know how to use it. They didn't want to use it. They wanted the old fashioned way, either through a medium and EVP, or even the flashlight, the flashlight technique. They were okay with that. Yeah. But yeah, it was really interesting that I ran into that too, which, for talking about timepieces or time frames.
Yeah. Wow.
I like that one the best.
She needs to write a book about her adventures in the paranormal.
That's what Tim wants me to do. He's like, you need to write all this down so you remember. And I'm like, okay, I'm trying.
Just do a book. That's all you need. Just do a book.
Yeah, exactly. Add it to my list of other books I'm doing.
I'm actually supposed to be writing one. I decided at my wife's constant supportive encouragement that I should write a book. Haunted, living with the ghosts of trauma, talking about growing up mentally dual diagnosed, what it's like going through the system. But then at the end, showing people that you can still rise above where you've came from, type of deal. Still working on it.
That's
But
great. I love it. That is
Yeah.
awesome.
That is
well,
great.
the idea is to make it cathartic, and so
Yeah.
that way, in the way we let go of things as our kind do, my
Mhm.
hope is that it's cathartic and I can release that
Right.
Yeah.
at the same time.
I
Wow.
like that.
You should. You should. I
Yeah.
know it's not easy doing a book, especially for publishing, trying to get a good budget. But I've been through it. I'm still going through it
Yes, I
sometimes.
say she's still going. You're
It's
still going through it.
it,
It takes a
it's worth
while, I
it.
bet.
Yeah,
But
it's worth it. So
there's a scary aspect to it, and then you have the money issue. But at the same time, you have that little voice that just tells you
It'll
that
be
it's a
worth
good
it.
idea. Yeah. So
yeah,
whatever that is, we're going with it.
Right.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. I think it. With I think the one thing that I like about doing the books is Chris and I are showing our lessons to the public, the lessons that we have done, that we have revised, that we have given to our coven members. So it's going to be more than just one book.
Lessons that actually work for us.
Yeah, and work for everybody else.
It gives people who are, what would say, they don't have a teacher to guide them.
Mhm.
This book will guide them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if you guys can't see me that well.
So
I can see you.
I know Chrissy's moving over, like she's giving you
I'm
the
like-
hint. Get your
I'm like,
get your
come on,
face
come
in
on.
there.
But one book that I'm really proud that we're doing now is about the community, about kind of like the good part of it, the bad and ugly part of it, what's like to be a coven leader, what's like to be a leader of the community, to do pagan events and everything, what you go through, because going to a pagan event is awesome if you have a good leaders that is leading the event. I have been to events and have people come up to me to attend events that was absolutely just too drunk to even be at an event, who thinks that an event is an orgy
Mm.
or just everything. And it's like, you have to say, no, this is not what this is. You have to leave. As much as it hurts you to tell a child of the goddess to leave, you have to wonder, well, are they really a child of the goddess if they're acting that way too?
Right, exactly.
And that was hard for me because it was hard for me to say no. I wanted to be loving to everybody and everything, but then you would see how it hurts other people. And to be an event leader, you have to protect everybody who is at that event. So even if you have to be a bitch of saying no, to some people, that it is hard though. So
Yeah, it is hard.
yeah.
Yeah.
We but I'm sure you probably know, Tobias, sometimes in a line of path you have to be like the bitch to say and push away.
Yeah.
For the integrity of the craft, the integrity of the event. Yeah, absolutely. And your own integrity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that way, like you two were saying, it helps keep the event structured. And not everybody's going to want it done the way it's being done. And that's where you run into those issues. But it's definitely been a learning curve, yes, when to make the call on boundary. We want to help everybody. But what I say now in my lives is I'll help you within reason. And that way I'm warning people.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
it's just not a rich life. It's like the paranormal life too.
Right.
You know, I'm sure they go through that. And medium red, I'm sure you probably have seen but people will come to maybe investigation, but they're not in their right mind, I guess you can say, where they can continue on.
Well, and the other part of it too is, you know, and I'm sure Tobias could back this up as well. I mean, there's a complete utter difference between ghost hunting and paranormal investigator.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I will say that I'm a paranormal investigator. I won't say I'm a ghost hunter because I don't do this as a hobby. This isn't just for, it's fun, but I'm not doing it for a hobby. I'm not a weekend warrior. Here's another one for you, Tobias. Weekend warrior, keyboard warrior.
Oh,
You know,
nice. Huh?
I'm doing this for a career. I'm doing this for evidence. I'm doing this for the betterment of myself to learn exactly what, you know, what is the other side like? What is the evidence for that? So, yeah, I mean, the people that come in and they literally are like the ghost hunters and they want to provoke and yell and scream, you know, at the entities, you know, yeah, we have to put our foot down and very politely say, I'm sorry, we don't do paranormal investigations like that. Please leave. Or, you know, can you please refrain from that? Respect them just as if you would respect a human standing in front of you. If you can't, please leave.
Yeah.
Because that's just, it disrupts the other like-minded people. And again, it's kind of like the bad apple syndrome. You get one bad apple, then it just ruins all the rest of the apples for you.
Yeah, I can understand that.
It does. Yeah.
I think it's. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I bet you have something to say about that too. But
I was just gonna say that, you know, like you all, it seems to be that in our communities, the paranormal or pagan craft, there seems to be certain stigmas that we talked about tonight, but they've always been there. And I don't know if technology's exasperated them, and so we see them more.
Yeah.
Or if we're just paying attention more because we're a little wiser and set in our ways now, and we know what we want as investigators, and it's not ghost hunting. We know what we want in our practices, etc.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. Succinctly said.
Yeah. So what is coming up this year for you, Tobias? What's in your plan of calendars to do list?
Oh, let's see. Well, for Paranormal Witchcraft LLC, I'm thinking in the next year we have 2 business partners. One is Witchfinder Dating, the app. They're more than just a social app. So it's not Witchfinder Dating, it's Social Coven now. All right. And what they're trying to do is a similar message like ours. They're just doing it on an app similar to what Sid's doing.
Yeah.
And that's why I love Sid's idea too. It's one, I'm a rock and roller headbanger. And so
Of
I
course.
think that's so cool. But yeah. So ask me the question again because I actually forgot it. And I didn't know how to come back from that.
What? Okay.
That's okay. That's the day.
What's the plan on the calendar of to do?
That's what it was.
That you have for this year?
That's what it was. I must be tired myself. But so what I would like to do is pick up 2 more business partners. I had somebody paranormal locally in mind. He kind of disappeared from Meta, so hopefully he comes back. But what I'm thinking of trying to do for paranormal is find 2 other working relationships, and that means kind of like Blue Mountain Paranormal and the team. They're great people, and we want to find like 1 more paranormal team and maybe 1 more witchcraft group to do something like this with. And that would just make me tickled pink, but I'm giving myself a year to do these micro things. If we attain more, awesome. If we only get 1, you know, I try not to be too serious about it.
Yeah.
For Brotherhood, like I said earlier, we're just trying to make sure that engagement slowly returns. And I happen to understand, like you guys do, that the world is turning at such a rate that people don't really have time to be online as much as they would like to anymore. And once that settles down, engagement will pick up like fire. So I can understand that. So our job in Brotherhood is to just keep people on the up and up. Like Grey Witch was saying, and you guys do it as well, Sid and friends. We all make sure and we check in with each other. And that's something that we're really big on, especially the admin. If nothing else in there, we try to make sure everyone's doing okay.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Really
definitely.
great.
it really does.
Well, we're at the top of the hour. Sis, do you have any other questions? Anything you want to say?
I don't. Tobias, it was wonderful to have you on. I absolutely adore you.
Yes. And, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great. We all got to support each other. So I'm glad to support you and vice versa. And, just carry on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be you.
As well.
Rocking it, man.
Yeah.
You're rocking it. So
Some days I don't know about that, but thank you. I'll take it.
There's many days I want to take my medium hat and throw it away. So I know what it's like. And then it's then I say to Spirit, okay, there's a reason I'm here and I'm why I'm doing this. So okay, I'll keep the medium hat back on again.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
The first time I mentioned I was psychic in a podcast, immediately after somebody wanted to test me. So I get it.
Yeah.
yeah.
I always have to tell people, like, you know what? I'm not here to prove anything to you. I get what I get. I mean, you know what it's like. So
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Being a witch, when people wants to test you too, and being a tarot card reader or a palm reader, everybody wants, to test you and everything. And and I can understand because there's a lot of fakeness out there.
Yeah.
For sure. But I think the real ones are just the ones that's just very humble and just, like, okay, I am who I am. If you don't want to believe me, that's fine.
Right.
Yeah.
There's something to be said for authenticity right now that I think once people catch on to that idea and realize that keeping up with the Joneses isn't important.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And
a lot of people have that problem, don't
they do. Still do. But to the audience, thank you for joining us tonight. Subscribe to Within the Cauldron, please. Like and share. Jump on over to Tobias' Facebooks. It's down below. His personal Facebook and also their Brotherhood Facebook. And jump on the YouTube of Paranormal Witchcraft LLC and watch some of the videos that he has. And Tobias, we see you in just a few minutes. And for everybody, many blessings. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.